Hi, I'm Dr. B, and I make medical education videos. Today's video is on the difference between being an introvert and an extrovert. Watch this video to learn what the difference is, why it might be important to you, and why you might find it interesting. And stay until the end for a test to find out which you might be. Introversion and extroversion are personality traits, and by definition that means they're not a disorder. But personality traits are something we carry with us and that makes us what we are. So personality traits can have a very significant effect on our daily lives, and they help determine how we relate to other people, how we choose to spend our time, even what we do online and in social media. Introversion and extroversion are terms originally coined by a Swedish psychiatrist, Carl Jung, in the 1920s. Now, according to Jung, an extrovert desires extensive contact with the outside world, and an introvert focuses all their psychic energy internally. He also believed that no one is 100% introvert or 100% extrovert, and current research would agree. About 2/3 of people are somewhere in the middle, displaying features of both introvert, extroverts, and these are known as ambiverts. However, on average, most individuals still tend to lean toward one of the two extremes. 40 years after Jung, a psychologist named Hans Eysenck argued that the main difference between extroverts and introverts was really how they recharge their mental energy. For example, it's like having two different electric cars. The extrovert car runs out of electricity when it is alone. It has to go out in the world to charge its battery and re-energize. Talking to others, going to parties, attending large group gatherings, and just being social with all sorts of people, talking loud, talking often. This activity continually charges an extrovert's battery. And at the end of a long day, they're fired up and ready to do it again. Now contrast this with the introvert. An introvert's electric car is much different. It might start with a full battery, but after a full day of attending group activities with lots of stimulation, seeing lots of people, being a part of parties and activities, all of this sucks out all the charge, and an introvert feels depleted, so they have to retreat inside, find some alone time, have inner thoughts to recharge their battery. In the electric car example, to charge their cars, introverts do it alone. Extroverts require others to charge their car. Now, there is some anatomical evidence that supports this idea of an inner battery recharging. If we look at brain MRIs, introverts have thicker prefrontal cortices, which may relate to more introspective thinking, and the size of amygdalas are larger in extroverts. In addition, it appears that both introverts and extroverts process dopamine, the feel-good transmitter, differently. For example, extroverts receive more dopamine during high-energy, exciting activities with other people than introverts do in the same activities. We know dopamine is important in many things, such as addiction to cell phones, and it appears to help govern introversion and extroversion as well. An important point is that being an introvert is not the same as being shy. This is a very common misconception. Introverts aren't anxious when they interact with others. They choose not to interact with others because it depletes them. And both introverts and extroverts can still be shy. For example, an extrovert may feel energized by being with others, pursuing group activities, but still be very anxious about doing so. This understanding of extrovert and introvert can be really important for you to understand yourself and your interaction with others, especially your close relationships. For example, if you're an extrovert paired with an introvert, you can empathize why your partner may not want to go out to the bar again for the third night in a row, and why me time is so very important for her to recharge her inner battery. On the other hand, if you're an introvert paired with an extrovert, you can understand why your partner might need to go out at night and have a girls' night out, because that activity recharges their inner battery. Another difference in relationships is that extroverts on average have more superficial and less deep interactions with multiple people. Many acquaintances. whereas introverts surround themselves with fewer, deeper relationships and have very few surface level acquaintances. An interesting implication of this is in online dating apps. Extroverts tend to be much more active and superficial in their profile. They display a less genuine form of themselves, whereas introverts are much less active on dating apps and other social media, but they portray themselves in a much more accurate representation of themselves on their profile. These are the differences between an extrovert and an introvert. And remember, you're probably not just one or the other, but really a combination with tendencies toward one end of the spectrum. For fun, take this short exam that I've put in the comments and see which you might be, extrovert, introvert, or maybe an ambivert. Thanks for watching, and for more fun videos, watch this one on locus of control or this one on histrionic personality disorder. And please don't forget to hit subscribe.